Me and Lance actually went to school together.
Actually, I found out about a bit.
Quite a
John,
scholars.
get that one out. Found out something about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a good boy.
They just said it all.
Not what Lance just told me.
Quite the scholar, Georgie boy.
Yeah.
Quite the scholar.
I was a smart kid.
Compared to the table.
Welcome, Lance.
Compared to the table, you were smart.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Sorry, Georgie.
this
you're back.
show could go for a long time.
that's
Had to get in
definitely a round
first.
of
Had to get in
applause.
first. Sorry,
Yeah,
mate.
Now,
Thanks for having me.
tell us about Love Me, Love You.
Love Me, Love You. We're a mental health awareness organisation that goes into schools, clubs, community organisations, corporate organisations. Delivers a whole range of education and wellbeing programs, support pathways, anything that we can help people understand and positively educate around the mental health system and how it's the ifs, whats, hows, how it's affecting people, what are we looking out for. Anything to open the conversation. And it's all based on my lived experience, George. Been experiencing and living with mental illness since I was about 13, 14 years of age. Anxiety is a big part of my life at school, which is pretty common for kids. Going through the school days, it's just how it works. But then going through life, and depression was a big part of my life. I played footy, played AFL for a long time. I got drafted to Adelaide, and anyone's been to Adelaide? Anyone been to Adelaide?
Yeah.
I understand why I had depression.
You know what? I was going to say that. I thought I'd better not.
I understand why I had depression.
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault. But anyway, it was really good to move out of there. And then, just life got pretty sort of serious after that, mate. It got really sort of dark for a long time. And, the foundation's all based, as I said, on my lived experience. But it's all about the recovery and the strength and the hope that and the power we put it back into people. And it's, I love what I do.
I mean, I found out, obviously, that you had started all this because I'd seen you on the news that you'd walked basically from Sydney to Melbourne.
Yeah. I couldn't
Part of
afford
the
a
stuff.
cab. It was fucked. But so 7 years ago, I nearly lost my leg. I dislocated my knee and ruptured the patella off the bone, which is it's actually a pretty good party trick. So from that, I had complications and infections that were in my leg and was going through my body, and nearly lost my leg, and which put life into a pretty sort of serious state. And a few months after that, I nearly suicided, and it was just okay. Well, this is not where life's at, and getting the help that I needed, and put myself back into a ability to move forward, and walking was a big part of my recovery. Going for walks in the morning and at night, just allowing some me time, and thought, well, what am I going to do about it? And we launched the foundation with a walk and run from Sydney to Melbourne. So I ran 2 minutes and walked 4 minutes for 920 kilometres. So,
Wow, well done. That's a great effort.
It's interesting you say, you're telling us your story, right? Yeah. And it's interesting how you say it, because a lot of people would have seen you playing footy AFL and they would have gone, everything's all set for you. Life is great. Everything's all happening. But behind the scenes, what you see there and what's happening behind the scenes are two different things. Yeah,
they say, perception is reality, but perception is perception, You put out there what you want people to see. I always carried myself with a lot of esteem. Sort of carried myself pretty well. Even through the darkest of days, I was always the first one up, and I was
fake it until you make it.
Fake it till you make it, sort of thing. In life of the party and doing all sorts of things. And at school, Georgia will attest to the fact that I was pretty much the grumpy guy. I was a lot of love, had a lot of love and all that, but it didn't want to cross me.
No, see, I mean, and this is what I was going to go back to, but like for me, for instance, at school, you're always considered basically anyone who said anything about football, about athletics, about soccer, about any form of sport, Lance's name had come up because he was basically the top end of the mountain. Yeah. And I mean, for myself growing up with you, it was basically, you always seemed to happy-go-lucky guy, but again,
not the
perception
education part. My name didn't come up with being the smartest kid or anything like that.
So you were in my boat.
But that's what it is about depression, though. Is a lot of people have got depression. I'm one of them. I'll put my hand up, and been diagnosed 13 years now. But that's what it is. Is people don't see through. People who've got depression hide it and hide it well. I mean, I hid it through family and friends. Probably 9 years. I only kind of came out like 3 years ago, and everyone's like, "What, really?"
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about out there is a lot of people who are hiding behind it. Like I'll be playing with my band and it's all smiles. As soon as I jumped in my car, it's like I wanted to cry. I was crying, and I was so and I'll probably drive to the Westgate Bridge, which I did a few times, and and just thought about things, and that's what you're doing is with your foundation is get the people to speak and and share their experience and talking about it. Actually, I found is very helpful. I wish I learned to talk about it 13 years ago, and I probably would have recovered a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Than battling the demons.
So we say a lot around that, if you tell a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is the thing with mental illness, people are telling themselves the lie often enough. So we try to help people understand around the ownership over it. Understand what how it's impacting your life and how it's affecting you. So you're taking ownership over it, because mental illness is a beast. And wants to own you, and it'll take over, and it'll drive you down. And a lot of people, which is an unfortunate part of the world that we live in, is that a lot of people aren't able to get through that part. Yeah, and some, don't end up suiciding, but 90% of suicides that happen are related to a mental illness. Yeah, but myself, I was unbelievably lucky, and I still count my lucky stars every day that I was surrounded by so much love that the beast just kept getting pushed away, that enough until it become that really scary moment. And you talk about the same, around the fact that just the first time you talk about it, the first time you say something to someone, you just feel that much better. And if you feel that much better, that's better than what you were feeling before you said it. Yeah. And if you keep talking about it, you keep opening up those conversations, because the more you open up the conversation, you just don't know who's actually hearing it as well.
Yeah, true.
And that's the thing. So, there's a lot of people mock the situation, and they create a lot of stigma attached to it, and talking, because there's still a misbelief that the fact that it's true, right? And it's a real illness, because it's a silent illness. There's nothing visible about it in terms of there's no plaster cast, or you sort of don't have crutches for it, because it'd be really weird if I had depression and I've gone on doctor, give me crutches for it. Just stupid. But so there's still that sort of understanding that the more we normalise these conversations and allow people to have that place of acknowledgement and safety, you just don't know, as I said, who's listening. And that person that might be listening might go, all right, it might trigger something in them to say, I need to talk about it, I need to open up to someone. And the first person we always speak to is the people that are closest to us. And that's their ability that, as a friend and as a mate, we do this whole thing around mateship. It's just understanding how to be a mate these days. And it's not just, getting 6 beers deep and telling them you love them. That's not how it works. It's around having those actual genuine and authentic conversations with people to make sure that they feel safe in their ability, and that they feel like they belong, and that they can do it.
Do you find especially with the younger generation these days, for the fact that, gone are the days where we used to muck around on the street and get into stuff and you'd have your mates there physically, where now a lot of kids are basically online doing stuff with headsets or...
They're so socially disconnected these days, it's a joke. And it's causing a lot of health problems, not just mentally, physical health problems, and it's scary. The world that we're living in, being so accessible by a phone is the scariest thing. And it's, we become so consumed by it, but for myself, I know one of the things that I do is I try to have no phone time. try not to be contactable, because you sort of have it on you and you're like, why isn't it someone email me, or why isn't someone call me or text me? You just want to be neat,
Facebook does that.
You feel it needed, You wouldn't have too many friends on Facebook, so that's all right. But it's more around...
I love the guy already.
You ever played drums?
And it is, and it's become a really scary world, And it's, we come into contact with a young boy this year who's, he's playing 40 hours of this Fortnite game a week. And the physical and mental ill health that he's going through is a real battle.
Disconnection.
Disconnected, and there's no more powerful thing than actually this, body to body sort of. You stay over there a bit more, but body to body sort of connection. That you can feel the energy, you feel the tone of the voice. How many times do you get a text message from someone and you read it and you go, "What do you mean?" You actually just read the tone wrong, and it's something like that. So it's just no more powerful thing, and we've sort of gone away from that. And even in work, you're so just like, I'll email them and wait for them to come back to me.
Yeah.
Get on the blower. You know,
Yeah.
I'll go and meet with them, make sure it happens. It's it's just allowing.
It's
that
actually
sort of
being
connection.
proactive too with
Well,
everything.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
100% it is.
yeah, we do that at home. And we're trying at least 2-3 times a week. Is phones off, internet off. It's actually family time. Let's watch a movie. Let's mingle.
Yeah.
Let's play board games. We actually play board games. You know, at least twice a month. We're trying to sit down and we play Monopoly or
When am I
whatever
getting
game.
invited?
Sorry, I said family. What part of family don't you understand? But and that's because of my mental illness. Is that trying to keep us together and communicate. And I've got 2 young girls too, so we're trying to get off the phones, get off the internet.
Yeah. And for the kids these days, we're trying to help people, we're trying to help parents understand that it's not actually around setting boundaries on these kids. It's actually understanding that you put frameworks and structures in place.
Yeah.
So have them understand the value of doing that and being a part of that. And so as soon as you put a boundary on something,
Yeah.
my parents had done that, and they did for certain aspects of my life, and you just rebel against it, and you're trying to push those boundaries as much as you possibly can until it breaks.
Yeah.
Look, I don't suffer from depression, right?
It's okay.
But is it easy to slip into it?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
And it can happen like that.
You'll
like
get it without even knowing.
It can happen like that, but it can have, and it also can manifest slowly over time, and then it bites you on the ass, and you're like, where did that come from?
Because one thing I know with a lot of musos that I
That's what I was gonna
work
get to,
with,
yep.
Yeah.
every muso's got this. It's a mental thing of you're only as good as the last gig that you did. So you do a gig and you think, oh, did I do all right in that gig?
Yeah.
How did I go? And you're always thinking, I'm only as good as the last gig I did.
See, my biggest thing is, and I had a conversation just recently with someone, and he goes, I get really scared and really intimidated getting up on the kit and stuffing up.
Yeah.
And I said to him, but for me, I used to have that issue, and then I found that the whole point was for myself was that you're going up there to have fun. You're getting rid of all your frustration. You're getting rid of everything that's there. If you stuff up, laugh about it.
That's it.
Have
Who
fun with
cares?
it.
Have fun with it.
That's the thing.
I mean, because I see so many guys that come down here on a Sunday and basically say this is our therapy, and it's amazing that while they're up there playing, the rest of the world's gone.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
their time to
Yep.
just release everything that's there. And I think it's important because especially with musicians and artists and anyone that's in that field,
Anyone's creative, really.
yeah.
Hey, this show's therapy for me.
Hey,
This show is therapy for
I'm going to
me.
need therapy after this show. So there's work around that space, in terms of the link between the creativity and actually mental illness, and they say about 70% of actually people in the music industry have anxiety or are a bit challenged by it, and that's it's twice as the likeliness of suicide is twice the normal population, which is really scary. You talk about life-work balance, all that sort of stuff, but you talked about the pressures of your performance, because it is. You're only as good as your last game. We kept getting told in footy, but lucky my last game was really awesome, because the other 76 were shit house.
Whereabouts are you guys?
We're based in Ascot Vale.
Yep.
We've grown as an organisation, and we're going really well. And we've got some big corporate partnerships that are allowing us to do more and more at schools. We're now a part of the National Education Initiative.
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome.
Well
So
done.
we're
Round of
pretty happy with
applause.
that. And we don't charge schools and clubs to access our service, because it's the more experiences that we can have at schools and clubs, the more difference we're going to make and the more positive impact we're going to have on the community. And but we're very lucky that we have some amazing sponsors and amazing corporate partners that allow us to do what we do, and we love who we do it with.
And can people just walk off the street and knock on the door and go, hey, I need help?
It's not that sort of place. It's sort of, but we have, you just get on the website, and we've got, if you need some sort of support.
What's the website?
lovemeloveyou.org.au.
we'll actually have that at the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Cool. And if you do need support in a way, we have counsellors that work in-house, so you can just email at support@lovemeloveyou.org.au. We have our team. We've got 6 in the office. We've got 10 industry leaders in the collective, which is psychologists, neuropsychs, dietitians, exercise science, mindful meditation, all that sort of stuff. We've got about 7 or 8 facilitators now in Queensland, Sydney, and in regional Victoria.
That's
and
awesome,
here. So
mate. That's awesome. Well done.
Fantastic.
So cheers.
Really, really good.
Thanks.
Hey, what's happening on the 24th of March?
March
Next year.
24th, we've got our walk. So we condensed and made it more of an accessible event. So that's what we launched.
So you don't have to travel to Sydney.
No, we'll never do that again. So how I did that is I actually got married 3 weeks before I did that event. So my wife had an unbelievable honeymoon in Wagga.
Lucky her.
Awesome cabin. It was beautiful. But now we've condensed it as now come a one-day event. So 60, 30, 15 or 5Ks. We had 700 people that did it this year. We'll get at least 1,000 people that will do that.
And you sign up for that?
Register online through our website, as I said, you get in
Yep.
there and to look at it. So you can register for it. You can either, there's 2 options to do it. You can either just fundraise your target and be accessible to the event, or you can pay out your straight out registration. So
I actually reckon that. So March 29, I actually reckon us.
March 24th.
March 24th,
yeah,
sorry.
don't come 29th.
I'm in.
No, don't come to the 29th.
You'll be late.
I'm in.
You'll be
All right,
late.
we're in.
Yeah,
We're
you'll
in?
be late.
Oh, okay, I'm in.
Oh, yeah?
Yep,
All
let's
right,
do it.
So we're going to start
So
at
60, 30, 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there one that's 500 metres?
No, it is, and it is the bonding experience around it, and understand that, and we always say that that no one travels a journey alone, and that's what the event symbolises, and we work that in, and that works in through our organisation. So.
And do you guys have a hotline number?
No, we don't do that. Purely just the resources, ability
Tight.
to do that. It's and there's amazing organisations that do that, and we don't want to reinvent the wheel. And there's one that's actually just been released called Support Act, which is purely for the
musicians.
Musicians, yeah.
Based in Sydney.
Yeah, so they're doing some really good work and pumping away. So you said you're in the industry, but you mate, look at the person next to you, reach out to that person, just say shit's getting real.
I agree.
I'm reaching out.
Oh, cheers! Don't touch me.
Anyway, put your hands there together,
Lance,
everyone.
well done, mate.
Lance
Thank
McChaney,
you.
love me, love you. Make sure
Thank
you
you
jump
very
on their website. Make sure, I reckon we actually do a whole Musicland crew do this walk on the 24th.
I'm in.
I think we should.
So everyone that's
Tyrone,
here, I
you
reckon
in?
we all need to sign up.
Hey, Rory,
Tyrone's
you
in.
into that?
You into that, Rory?
Yeah, no worries, I'll drive you there.
So I reckon we're going to do that.
Actually, Will drives from his backyard to the front yard just to take the rubbish out. He jumps in his car in the driveway.
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks, Lance. That was
Thanks,
awesome,
Lance.
mate. Well done.
Thanks, Lance.
Thank you.
Great.